Welcome, everybody. We're going to have another interesting topic today. Reverend Kim's going to take it away, but I think it's going to be quite interesting because it applies to every single one of us every day of our life. Take it away, Reverend Kim.
Thanks, Reverend Beverly. Hi, everybody. All right, so I got this again from my email, and I wanted to read this because it just kind of struck a chord with me. There will be times when your integrity and honesty may be called into question. It can be very hurtful to be judged in this way, especially when you have put forth so much effort working on this particular area of your life. If this happens, it is best to take a step back, breathe, and allow the universe to show you the infinite picture of what is really going on. Then ask yourself these questions. Are they truly judging me, or are they expressing personal pain? Is this a projection of their belief system? Is this really something you need to take note of and change within yourself? Has the person been on the receiving end of a projection before? Be open to and willing to receive the answers and work on yourself if necessary. An honest and blunt dialogue between yourself and the universe, as well as a willingness to learn, will always keep you on your true path. I think this is a crux of a lot of issues, at least for me, at least for a lot of things. I think with people, there's always the finger pointing. They did this, they did, or they said that, they hurt me, they
Judging.
And again, take that step back, breathe, and ask, are they truly judging me, or is this a pain, a personal pain of theirs? Have they been triggered by something, brings up a pain, a hurt, a memory that needs to be addressed on their end? Now, obviously, you're not going to go into a conversation saying, oh, that sounds like a personal pain for you. You need to work on that. That's going to get you a boomer.
It's funny. You made me just think of something just off the wall, because I'm stopping judging because I don't want to be judged. That's something you were taught in Sunday school.
Mm-hmm.
But today there was a gentleman walking on the freeway, all in black shoes, a black hat. And I pulled over and gave him a ride. And I'm sitting there, and he went on and on and on about all. I said, Beverly, you're really crazy. You don't know. And I'm on a highway. There's no place to get rid of him. But he was an Indian. He had 4 degrees. He owned 1,300 things, but he was in a car accident and left for dead 1 year ago on the 17th. He just got out of the hospital. He was trying to go back because he had no money. No one took care of his banking. No one did any of that. He went to the bank, and because he was a year in the hospital, they wouldn't take his expired license. So he says, then I have to scrape together $5 to go get a new license. So I'm listening to all this, and I felt honored to realize you can't, because we have a lot of homeless here, and it's very hard for me, because why are they always begging when in Washington everybody gets $700 a month who lives on the street? So to me, there's no way that they should all be on the street. But he was trying to get back home, seeing how his land was, getting people who knew him in his bank so that they could help him get his money and take care of himself. And I thought to myself, the average person seeing him wouldn't have stopped. And it was 96 degrees, and he was in black, and I'm dying with the air conditioner on in my car. So I drove him about 30 miles and through the end of Casey's town and let him off, and his town was the next town. But it's amazing when you don't judge and you just help. Be it help physically, mentally, emotionally, but you don't offer judgment. And it was a wonderful trip.
That's amazing.
And it made me think, I really, in this day and age, and I was by myself, and I was, yeah, but just listening to him talk, and I mean, he was 61 years old. His wife left him, and he's dating all this stuff. He had 4 degrees.
Wow.
But he said, I was stuck. He broke every bone from the waist down. His face was shattered. He had a scar from the top of his head to his shoulder where he went through the windshield.
Oh my God.
And but he had the best mentality. He felt, I was blessed to be alive. I never did drugs. I don't drink, and I have another chance to do more. And I thought, and he gave me his name, and he's called me, if you're ever up here, I'll show you the property. And but what got me was he was Indian, and I'm Indian, and I did not see that at all. But we connected on a spiritual level.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And again, it backs down to what you're saying. If people judge, they lose so much in the world. There's so much more.
Well, the fact that, and I will honestly say, I probably would not have stopped. So there was something for you that, you were meant to do that. And so, yes, there was a connection made. You were blessed and honored to hold.
And he blessed me when they got out of the car too.
That's awesome. Well, you were holding space for him to get this out and to talk to somebody, and I'm sure he's not had that opportunity often to be able to do that. So my gosh, the blessing you gave him, the space that you gave him, the honor that you gave him, just getting him to where he needed to be and helped along. That's that connection.
Like I said, most people, probably 99% of people will judge. And I do that when I go downtown. I take other roads than going through downtown, because you don't know who's what. There's one thing to be homeless, or one thing be on the streets with drugs, because you don't know how they're going to react. And so we can't judge. We have to feel.
It's that's an amazing gift that you gave to yourself and to him. And there's a lot of fear, and people are very skeptical about doing things like that. And so you opened that door and stepped through it, which is absolutely amazing. But it's true, when you judge, you have already put up a barrier between you and that person. Excuse me. And so, yes, you're missing out on those gems, that connection, that oneness with another individual. Now, should you be doing this with everybody? No, probably not. And again, this is why we have, guides. This is why we have our angels. This is why we have, a whole army with us to guide us to those moments that are necessary for our expansion, as well as that person's. So I think that's amazing. What a wonderful story.
That just reminded me, because I'm trying not to judge anymore, and you have to, because you don't know the reasons why.
Well, and again, like we've talked before, because we all come from the same place. We all come from source, the creator, universe, whatever you want to call it. And we are all connected. There is that thought that, oh, I'm going to, save this person, or I'm going to do, well, right, there's a judgment.
There you go. What makes you think they need saving?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
What makes you think they're broken? They're not broken. We're not. Nobody's broken. No. You're not broken at all. This is your journey. If you're sharing it with somebody and you're guided to help them, there's a reason for it. Which I think that's just amazing. But again, you have to ask yourself, if somebody's coming at you, judging you, is this, and it is
True.
hurtful. It can be hurtful. And somebody's pointing their finger at you and you do this and blah, blah, blah. And it's hard in the moment not to react to that. What the universe is telling us is to, pause, take a step back and breathe and ask yourself in your mind, this person, but is this, are they really judging me? Or is this a personal pain of theirs? Do I need to look at this? Is this mine to look at? And if it is, okay, yay, that, they've given you the opportunity to be able to look at that and to work on that. To say, okay, maybe I have been a bit judgy about that. All right, maybe, all right, so now I need to kind of, let's adjust that. If it isn't yours and it's their personal pain or something they need to work on, okay, bless them, let them go on their way. Do not say, oh, this is your personal pain. You need to figure that out. Pretty sure you're going to get smacked on that one. I don't know.
Can you see me saying that to my mother-in-law? This is your journey. You got it. See you later.
Oh, Isella. Oh my gosh. Hanging around for a reason, dear. I don't know what it is, but
my son-in-law just went in the hospital. He came home incoherent and he was in 2013. He couldn't find his car and he was sitting in his car. So they rushed him to emergency and it turned out it was a migraine.
wow.
He had it so bad, but all his electrolytes and stuff are whacked and he doesn't have a doctor. So they sent him home with an injection of magnesium and told him to sleep for 4 days, but see his doctor. He doesn't have a doctor. My point was, you can't, I don't know what it was, but I remember seeing that, and you can't judge him and you can't help him because everybody else has got opinions. They've all got opinions. And who's better than the other? Mine or this or the computer or the blah, 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 blah. And you've taught me so well on blood tests that you get back from the doctor. You can't just read them and follow the L and the H's because they balance with all the other chemistry in your body.
Mm-hmm.
And this is why I think so many people today are judging people because they're not where they're at. And they think they're superior, in all honesty. And no one's superior. We're all one. We all need to love one another and let them go on their journey.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Well, it is. It's difficult. We get so caught up in, well, like with the lab tests and all, like numbers. You get caught up in your numbers. It's like there's more to it than numbers, people. They like to focus on like one thing. That's like with the
Hurts.
Western medicine.
Yes.
They've synthesized what nature has given. And they've taken one component of that plant and they've turned it into, a pill or an injection or whatever. And yes, it may work amazingly for a little while. Imagine holistically what that whole plant could do to that person if they imagine, and they take responsibility for their lives and, and use the whole plant, just as an example, to better their health rather than, my doing medical scribe work and seeing, medication lists that are like the length of my arm for elderly people.
They just give them a pill.
Yeah. So again, now, yes, that is a judgment. I agree. I've made a judgment on that. And maybe, again, like you said, all right, let them, this is what they know. This is what they're comfortable with. This is their journey. Let them have it. you know?
It's funny because we judged immediately. And I was just thinking, because on the reports, they had stated that she was at the max medication. She takes 3 pills. Everything else is holistic. So, okay.
It's like, well, okay, you're entitled to that opinion. Thank you very much. And
That's the scientific.
right.
And this is what we've been stating. There has to be a balance. Even when I got my Christian Science manual back, so this was written in the 1800s.
Right.
You know, and it's tangy. Wait a minute, we have to blend the two together. God gave you a brain to become a doctor, but he also put the plants there before the brain.
Well, they put the plants there for you to use.
Yeah.
You know, use your brain and go beyond. You know, that's interesting though. I like that.
Yeah. So that's so true. We can't judge. We have to honor their journey and honor our journey and not try. Now that's another thing we do. We try to pinpoint it because we want it. We want to know where and how.
Right.
And it's all in divine orchestration.
Yeah.
That's a hard one.
That is that. Well, it is. And you know, that's part of the journey too. It's part of each and every one of our journeys to recognize it is our journey, the divine orchestration of everything. We don't see the big picture, you know, with our finite minds, where we are. Our higher selves are part of that bigger picture. If we allow ourselves to pause, you know, we could get a glimpse of that bigger picture. You know, and again, like we've said, you know, I said this earlier today for some reason. I don't know why. It must have triggered me for something, but it was you know, what if it all works out? What if it all works out? So all this, you know, hemming and hawing and, you know, bitching and complaining and all of this, and it works out. Then what? You sit there and like,
You'll find something else to bitch and moan and complain about because that's your pattern.
yeah, but if it all works out, aren't you going to look like you have egg on your face?
Betsy.
Like what?
Yeah,
It all worked
yeah,
out.
that's so
What?
true. Oh, I don't know, but it one of the articles today was saying we're here such a short period. Just enjoy it.
Yes.
Don't rock the boat, so to speak. Don't make waves. Just enjoy it. The card I drew today was the same thing. I can't remember what it was, but it was just look around you and find the good.
Yes.
Stop wallowing in your problems.
Well, it's true. You know, when you know,
It
when
was that impertinence.
that impermanence.
Yes.
Yeah, that was weird. The last draw I made. What? So
Yeah.
I've done this week. I've pulled like different cards, and the one I pulled from, what is it, the Angel Inspiration deck. Early in the week, I pulled Archangel Raphael, and I'm like, oh, okay, healing, isn't that wonderful? Isn't that great? So the next day, I shuffle the deck. You know, I'm shuffling. And I pull a card. It's Archangel Raphael. So I'm like, whoa.
You're not getting the point here.
Like, okay, there's no healing. So the next day, like, it's Archangel Raphael. I'm like, okay, I'm leaving a card for the rest of the week because apparently this whole week is about healing of a lot of stuff.
Yeah, but that's great.
I know, but
because you don't do it.
No,
you know, you really don't. It's all done to you and help for you, and then you wake up, and so that's nice.
Yeah, so it is. It is all good. It really is. And you know, to take a breath and to realize the judging, and we all do it to some degree or another, to remind ourselves, you know, okay, you know, somebody else has got a lot of crap going on in their life too. You don't know what it is. Cut them some slack and cut yourself some slack too.
There was a saying that I posted on Facebook, and it was just right to the point. I'm going to see if I can find it. It was simple. It was a simple little thing, and it was something like, don't complain about the asphalt, you made the road or something. I mean, it was just like 3 letters. I mean, it was just,
Oh, that's cute. Oh, I like that.
well, here's one. You can't keep getting mad at people for sucking the life out of you. You keep giving them the straw.
I love that one. I think that was great. I
Yeah.
saw that. I'm like, yeah, that's pretty good. That's
Yeah.
that's kind of like that saying about, okay, so somebody is drinking, somebody's taking poison, hoping the other person is going to get sick. You know,
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. Just what you said. I can't find it, but it was
That's
perfect. It really was, because it's just telling you, stop finding fault in everybody else, because
Right.
it begins with you.
Well,
Yeah.
just focus again. Where's your focus? Focus on your life.
Exactly, and nobody else's. And
Right.
what they're doing.
You can't change
That's a
anybody
hard
else's
one.
life. You can only change your own.
That's a good point.
It's true.
I think that's the perfect way to end it. You can't change, you can change your life, but you can't change others. However, you just said that, that's perfect. Because you can't.
Well,
So you change your perspective.
you're not supposed to
Yeah.
either. You're only supposed to be working on your life.
That's
That's the
exactly
focus,
right.
work on your life. Everybody else is supposed to work on theirs. You get to work on yours. It can be that simple,
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's exactly right. I agree.
So with that lively conversation, I want to thank everybody for joining us again, and to remind you all to be gentle with yourself and to be kind to yourself, and to remember that you are unique in all the universe. There will never be another just like you in all of space and time. You are powerful, you are cherished, and you are loved. And without you, the song of the universe would be incomplete. Until next time, my friends, be well